Hello everyone, this is Calvin, Professor C here. Today we are going to talk about something about mortgage. We haven't been talking about mortgage for a few weeks now because in the last few weeks we have been talking about COVID-19 and some of the government relief program about COVID-19, and I find that it is more urgent and timely to talk about those topics for you and for your client and for everybody else because those are important. But today we are going to go back to mortgage. But before I talk about mortgage, I am very happy to tell you that I am launching a live webinar coaching session the next week and a couple of weeks after in May. So there's two webinars coming up in May. And all the information is on the website www.mortgagehackercanada.com, which is on the bottom of the screen right now. Okay, so in there, let's take a look at it. You will see, something about myself, something about the course, my book, and this too is the session, May 11th and 12th. It's a 2-day session, and this May 25th and 26th. And there's a sign up button. You can sign up directly on the site, and then you will get more detail about it. I am very happy to launch this with a very nice website. And so if you have more questions that you want to talk about the course, the webinar, you can go to any of the social media and find me and discuss with me. But most of the detail is on the site. Now, without further ado, let's talk about mortgage. So today we are going to talk about purchasing pre-construction property. Now, if you have been following my channel, we have spoke about this before. I have a video about purchasing with pre-construction property versus resale and the tips and tricks about that, right? So let me refresh your memory because I remember that video has been done for quite a few months ago. Pre-construction purchase means that your client is purchasing directly from the builder, and usually this the purchase agreement looks like this, and it's in legal size, and it's like 30 to 50 pages long. It's very thick of a document. Okay, so the client is purchasing directly from the builder. Whereas resale is your client is purchasing from another individual, and the property has been lived in and owned by somebody else already. Those are called resale. Okay, but today we are talking about a transaction that is in between these two, and the technical term for that is called an assignment. An assignment. So let me show you the assignment. This one. So assignment. Okay. So what this is kind of. Let me go back to here. Right. And we are going to use this live sample. Okay. So say that this is called Mr. Seller name. Last name is name, first name is seller. Okay. So Mr. Seller name purchased this property for $324,990 back in 2013. Now the property is about to close, and Mr. Seller name maybe last month lost his job due to COVID-19 or something like that. And he decided he doesn't want to own the house anymore. So he wants to sell it. And he can do that even though he is not the owner yet. So he decided to sell to another person. And this is called assignment. Now, there are a couple of things that, we have to be very careful of because this is a little bit tricky. And so I'm going to list out all the pitfall and tricks and tips and hacks for you. Okay. First thing is you have to be very careful who is our client. Okay. Who is our client? So Mr. Seller name is not our client. our client is here. Our client is called the assignee. It's not called the purchaser. It's called the assignee. And Mr. Seller name is the assigner. So in effect, he is assigning the right to purchase this property to our client. That's why he is assigning the right to purchase this property to our client. Okay, so that's very important. First of all, you have to clarify who is our client. Second of all, you have to be very careful what is the purchase price for our client. What is the purchase price for our client? Because when you talk about purchase price in an assignment, there is actually two purchase price. One of them is called the original purchase price. So in this example, the original purchase price is $324,990. But this price would probably not be the same as the price that our client is paying for the property. Now, remember, this condo is purchased back in 2013. Mr. Seller name, would probably like to sell at a higher price to our client. So when they purchased 7 years ago for $325,000, this property right now is probably worth $400,000 or even more. So Mr. Seller name decided to sell this property to our client for $400,000. So in effect, he is profiting $75,000 from there. So that's why there is a schedule, usually here, Schedule B, listing about this. So here on item number 2, this is the original agreement of purchase and sale from the builder, $324,990. This is the original purchase price. Our client, in fact, is paying $400,000 to obtain this property. And this is called assignment price. This is called assignment price. Okay? The rest of the calculation is not as important, but here I want you to make sure that you know when we talk about purchase price and assignment price, you know what we are talking about. Okay? So this is assignment price, this is original purchase price. Now, the reason why we care about that is because some of the lender out right now can only lend based on the original purchase price. Okay, even though your client paid $400,000 for the property, and if you say, okay, I want to borrow loan to value 80%, which is $320,000, it is not possible because some lender only use the original purchase price to lend. So what that means is the maximum they are going to borrow is $259,992, which is 80% of the original purchase price. Though some lenders are okay with the assignment price and lend based on that price, assuming that the appraisal came back, the value is $400,000 or more. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to be very careful. Not all lenders lend on the assignment price. Some of them base their mortgage on the original purchase price. Okay, so there's a lot of information. Let me recap. First, you need to make sure who is our client. Second, you need to make sure that what is the assignment price and what is the original purchase price. Third, you have to call the lender, or make sure, call your manager, call your broker of record, call the BDM, call the underwriter, to make sure that lender, that lending institute, that bank, that trust company, they, what's their guideline regarding on assignment? Are they borrowing? Are they lending based on the original purchase price, or are they lending based on the assignment price? Okay. And lastly, I want to tell you about some of the documents you need, because a few of those are, kind of new for you maybe. So if you are doing an assignment, you need this one, an assignment of agreement of purchase and sale. This is between our client and Mr. Seller name and their contract, right? So this is it, right? Usually it's a couple of pages. Then you need one of this. Usually this one is, is a legal size paper. This one is between the builder and our client. I actually switched this too. This one should be here, the assignee, and the seller name should be here, the assigner. So I apologize for that first. But this document is a document between the builder and our client and the seller. Because every time you do the assignment, the builder, first of all, not all builder allow you to do assignment. And even those that allow you to do the assignment, a lot of them charge you a fee, to do that, okay? So assuming that they allow you to do it and charge a fee, then you should have one of these documents saying that the builder agree that you two do the assignment, okay? So you have to have this document, okay? Then lastly, you also need to gather the original purchase agreement. This 30 to 50 pages document. You also need the whole thing. For this one is a 41 page. Okay, for this one is 41 page. You need this also. So that's a lot of paper, a lot of document, but you need it. So again, let me recap. You need 3 documents. One is the assignment of agreement of purchase and sale. Is usually looks like this, ORIA form, couple of pages only. Secondly, you need a consent, kind of like a consent form that the builder and you and the seller, the builder agree that you guys do the assignment. So that's that. And lastly, you need the original purchase agreement for Mr. Seller name. Okay, so that's that. So make sure next time when you encounter an assignment transaction, now you know what to do with it. And if you have more questions about this one is a little bit more complex and complicated than another topic. Just go to the comments on the YouTube website and I reply 100% of the comment. Okay? So one more time, let me go back to this. And as you can see, just, the website for live webinar is on the bottom. If you are interested in purchasing my book, it's on the right hand side. There's the paperback book is coming back. Before you can see it on Amazon, but they are not shipping it to Canada due to COVID-19. I just heard that they are now shipping it to Canada now. So if you want to own a physical book of my physical copy of my book, you can go to Amazon and order it there too. Okay, so thanks a lot and I hope to see you in the webinar. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye bye.